Welcome back to Mixed Story Time. Or should I say welcome to story number 2 about that clever little teacher, Miss Nelson. Okay, now, if you have not heard this story, the first story about Miss Nelson called Miss Nelson is Missing, I would recommend you going back to listen to that story first. But if you have listened to that story, we are going to read the second Miss Nelson story called Miss Nelson is Back. And maybe we will figure out what happened to Miss Viola Swamp. Are you ready? We are about to start Miss Nelson is Back by Harry Allard and James Marshall. Okay. One Friday, Miss Nelson told her class she was going to have her tonsils out. "I'll be away next week," she said, "and I expect you to behave." "Yes, Miss Nelson," said the kids in room 207. But at recess time, it was another story. "Wow," said the kids. "While Miss Nelson is away, we can really act up." "Not so fast," said a big kid in room 309. "Haven't you ever heard of Miss Viola Swamp?" "Who?" said Miss Nelson's kids. "Yeah, Miss Swamp is the meanest substitute in the whole world," said the big kid. "Nobody acts up when she's around." "Oh," said Miss Nelson's kids. "Yeah, she's a real witch," said the big kid. "Oh," said Miss Nelson's kids. "I'll just bet you get the swamp," said the big kid. I don't know about you, but I'd be a little bit nervous if I were the kids in room 207. On Monday morning, Miss Nelson's kids were all in their seats. They were very nervous. Some of them had not slept very well all weekend. "If we get this swamp, I'll just die," said one of the kids. And then they heard footsteps in the hall. Uh-oh, is it gonna be the swamp girls? What do you think? Slowly the knob turned. And the door opened. Worth the principal. "I shall personally take over this class," he said. Miss Nelson's kids were so relieved, but they soon learned that Mr. Blandsworth was not a lot of fun. All morning, Mr. Blandsworth tried to amuse the class with his corny card tricks. "Oh, brother," said the class. That afternoon, Mr. Blandsworth showed the class his favorite shadow pictures. "This is kid stuff," said the class. The next day, Mr. Blandsworth demonstrated his favorite bird calls. They were not a success. And for 2 days, Mr. Blandsworth showed slides of his goldfish, Lucille. Miss Nelson's kids had never been so bored. Oh dear. Uh-oh. What do you think's gonna happen? While dusting erasers in the schoolyard, 3 of the ringleaders of 207 discussed the situation. "Something will have to be done," they said. "We must get rid of Mr. Blandsworth." And they hatched a plot. After school, they painted and sewed and borrowed some old clothes. And they practiced some very difficult stunt work in the backyard. Oh my goodness. They're busy hatching some sort of plan. What do you think they're doing? The next day, they weren't in class. Oh, that's too bad, said Mr. Blansworth. They'll miss all the excitement. Oh my goodness, what do you think's going to happen? Mr. Blansworth was about to show the class his collection of ballpoint pens from all over the world when someone came to the door. Who could it be? What do you think? Slowly, the knob turned. And then the door opened. Who do you think it is, girls? Who do you think? Oh, look, said the class. Miss Nelson is back. Oh, my goodness. A tall and lumpy Miss Nelson tottered into the room. Mr. Blansworth was surprised. You're back sooner than we expected, he said. The tall and lumpy Miss Nelson didn't speak. Said the kids. Her throat still must be sore. Are you sure you're well enough? Asked Mr. Blansworth. She's sure, said the kids. Well, in that case, said the principal, I'll be getting back to the office. Nice to have you back, Miss Nelson. And he left the room. Girls, is this really Miss Nelson? I don't think so. Hot dog, cried the kids. We got rid of Blansworth. Now we can do just as we please. And at the stroke of 10, the kids from room 207 left the building. They went straight to the movies where they saw The Monster That Ate Chicago twice. And then, this is really living, they said. And then they went to Lulu's where they stuffed themselves silly. But soon they made a serious mistake. Uh-oh. So they went to the movies. They went to the ice cream parlor. What do you think they did? That was a big mistake. Heading back to school, they passed Miss Nelson's house. Uh-oh. Miss Nelson couldn't believe her eyes. Those are my kids, she said in a scratchy voice. What are they doing out of school? And who is that with them? Uh-oh, Miss Nelson telephoned Mr. Blansworth to see what was going on. You're not Miss Nelson, said Mr. Blansworth. Miss Nelson is back. And he hung up. Can't fool me, he said. Said Miss Nelson. Something will have to be done. What is Miss Nelson going to do? And then she went to her closet. What is Miss Nelson going to do? Why is she going to her closet? I don't know, girls. What do you think she's going to do? Back in room 207, Miss Nelson's kids were spending a very agreeable afternoon. They were very pleased with themselves. We should do this more often, they said. And then they did not notice the figure in the hall. Uh-oh, girls. Who do you think is in the hall? Who do you think? You think it's Miss Nelson? I don't think so. Slowly, the knob turned. And then the door slowly opened. My name is Viola Swamp, said the lady in a scratchy voice. Yipes, cried the kids. It's the swamp. Oh no. That's right, said Miss Swamp. And I'm here to whip this class into shape. Get back to those desks on the double. The class did as they were told. The big kid from 309 was certainly right. Miss Swamp was a real witch. Oh, there gotta get results. The class did a whole week's worth in no time. Oh, we shouldn't have gotten rid of Blandsworth, they said. Pipe down, said the swamp borer. Just then, something under a desk attracted her attention. What do you think it was? It was a mask. Aha, said Miss Swamp. So that's your little game. And she tried on the mask just as Mr. Blandsworth stepped into the room. Miss Nelson, said Mr. Blandsworth, I'm of the opinion that someone has been impersonating you. Oh, whispered the kids. You don't say, said Miss Swamp. Probably just some kids acting up. I'm sure it won't happen again. And Mr. Blandsworth, he left. And it won't happen again, will it? Said Miss Swamp to the class. Because the swamp will be watching. So a minute later, Miss Nelson appeared. I'm back, she said. Oh, Miss Nelson is back. My goodness, Miss Nelson came back so quickly, didn't she? I'm back. Do you think that the kids were happy she was back? Hot dog, cried the kids. Are we glad that you are back? Didn't you have fun with Mr. Blandsworth? Asked Miss Nelson. Said the kids. They decided not to mention Miss Viola Swamp, but they wondered why Miss Nelson hadn't seen her in the hall. How come? That's a good wonder, girls. Miss Nelson came right in right after Miss Swamp left. How come? Do you think she saw her in the hallway? Possibly. I don't know. I think we'll find that out next time when we read Miss Nelson Has a Field Day. Stay tuned and we'll find out. Bye-bye.